Hi everyone, it's Enchantress. Happy Christmas Eve. Oh my god, I got my new tarot deck in the mail and I'm so excited. I created this new one with the idea of featuring nudes. And when I started my collection for the Enchanted Romance deck, so many other images popped out at me. I was like, oh, those are so beautiful, but how would I use them, And doing nudes is quite different and challenging for a whole deck, but I did my best, and I think they're going to be beautiful. I haven't even looked at the whole deck yet. I peeked inside at the Fool, so let's take a look. So first of all, this time I put them in a tin because partly for you guys to save money. I know a lot of you guys out there will put them straight in a bag, or do whatever other things with it. And not very many of you even keep the boxes or whatever. So the box on my last deck was kind of expensive, and I didn't think it was not totally necessary. The tin is fairly inexpensive. It's about the same cost as a tuck box, but a whole lot easier to make. I was able to put some wording back here. So the Flesh Tarot is a collection of classical paintings exhibiting the sensuality of the human form. Each painting was carefully chosen and designed to reflect the traditional meanings of each card of the tarot. Inspiring works, especially from artist William Adolph Beauregaux, bring this beautiful tarot compilation to life. So there you go. And yeah, this is designed before I met my Etsy shop, but it's going to be in the Etsy shop. Right now, I only have one of these. So if you're fast and you go get it at Etsy, then it's yours. But otherwise, you'll just have to wait until I order some more. So let's take a look. And here's my backing. I was hoping it would look good. Wanted kind of something pretty and floral-ish, but also representing flesh, representing, well, and I don't mean to be specific about the flesh, that there are definitely variety of shades of flesh. This is like peach or whatever. And, sadly, if I could have, I would have found more, I would have put in every single shade that's out there in this genre of artwork. And I did my best to represent a few shades. But anyway, so let's take a look. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and hold them differently, make it easier for me. Oh, before I begin, I made them silver sparkly. So yeah, so not only are you gonna, can you get this deck with the silver and in a tin, so it'll be a little bit cheaper than the other one. It won't be, you'll be able to get this deck about the same cost as the basic romance, Enchanted Romance, okay? So around maybe $50, I think, something like that. I have to look up again how much it cost me to make this. All right, so now we will begin. Also, to save a little money, it's not Superior Smooth. It's still good quality, but it's not quite the same. But I think it still, holds up. So here we have the Fool. Now for the Magician, I had to add some elements. I just felt like it's sort of necessary to make sure that the Magician had it had all the elements. It has the cups, it has the swords, the wands, the pentacles, and also the infinity symbol. So those are all, to me, important symbology of the Magician, even though he's nude. Okay, here we go. So the High Priestess, I gave her a pomegranate. She didn't have a whole lot to go on. And here I left all the ladies in here so we could see different shades of, everybody in this picture to me is the High Priestess. Then we have the Empress, like the mother of all kind of thing. Quite a lot of children there. And the Emperor. So it's like, yeah, but I mean, fair play, right? The guys and the girls are nude. So there's some that, you know, it was hard to find a nude representing certain ones, like the Hierophant, for example. But I still was able to get, you know, the fleshy feeling. That was the part. That's the important part. When I say flesh, I'm talking about texture, thickness of skin, and depth of skin, and that kind of feeling that you get when you look at a person's body, that kind of thing. You know, like Reuben also. So here's a different lovers, like that one too. The Chariot. So the Chariot's up above and coming down to rescue kind of thing. And this one was also kind of a challenge to figure out what would be good, but to incorporate all the feelings, I think this one worked pretty well. This one I also, instead of the font that I used more of a cursive, and I decided that numbering them would at least the major arcana would kind of like detract from that. So sorry, no numbers, but I think like this is sort of for advanced person anyway. If you're very familiar with the tarot, and then you can adapt by looking at the images. Okay, the Chariot, Strength. Look at that lion with his eyes closed. The Hermit, the Wheel of Fortune. I was very lucky to find a wheel with flesh, you know. Justice. So now this one is an image that I just fell in love with, and I had a different one in mind for Justice, one that was already holding scales. So, but this one I decided to add the scales myself. So a little bit of digital art editing there. But she's really beautiful. The Hanged Man. Now for the other deck, I was really desperately looking for mermaids swimming upside down, and so this one is an image that I just flipped, and then I added bubbles going the other direction. So hopefully this works for you guys. I like it very much. I want to represent as many of the masculine form as well. Here we have Death, Temperance, the Devil. It's a whole different kind of devil. And it's interesting, like, you can see this artwork, samples of different parts of this body. In this section right here where the nails are digging in the flesh, you know, the way the hand's grabbing, you know, this is very potent to me, very powerful. The Tower, again using a shipwreck to symbolize the tower, you know, things, just the foundation being shaken, things kind of falling in disarray, sort of thing, shooken up. The Star, I just thought this one was really pretty. Okay, and then that's the Star. This is a really beautiful close-up of this beautiful girl, and so, yeah, something stark, you know, there's something like renewal and hope about this image to me. And then the Moon, which is kind of cool, where this, you know, archer has this moon shape going on here. The Sun. I didn't know what to use this image for specifically because it just seems sweet, you know, and cute. But the lighting behind the subjects seemed very bright, and the whole feeling seemed happy. So then I thought, okay, the Sun. We got Judgment, Angels of Judgment. Interesting dynamic between these characters. And the World. A lot of tarot, the world is like a woman striking a pose kind of thing. So I thought that was fitting. Okay, I'm going to move on to the minor arcana with wands next. Here we have the Ace of Wands. So each ace is just represented by a lone, beautiful woman. Beautiful nude woman. Two of Wands. So when you get into the minor arcana, it got a little difficult because you're like, you want to represent the action or the mood of the card, but I feel like this definitely has a good weighting quality. Besides, there's two of them. The Three of Wands, a little bit more excitement there, and there's three of them. The Four of Wands feels like celebration, and this is the twin flame kind of thing. So the connection, the eye contact here between these two just feels like the strongest, even though there's a lot going on there, The Five of Wands. This was one of the image that was in my collection that I was going to use for the other tarot deck. And this one is to see how fleshy it is. It's like the muscles, the strain, the action in it. It's very interesting to me, and I think it went good for Five of Wands. Six of Wands I feel is a little somber pose, but Lady Godiva was definitely, she was kind of famous, definitely, and she was very just kind of, people were sort of in awe of her, and she just had she was amazingly beautiful and kind of glowed and sort of in awe. So that I felt like, and then she's riding in on a horse, so it's kind of majestic. And then Seven of Wands. This is one of the harder ones to find an image for. So the Seven of Wands is about defense, like the wands protecting, defending kind of thing. So it's very subtle in here, of course, but it's the mother is kind of defending the child's sleep, from the other child. So it's kind of, that's, very gentle kind of defense mode there. Then the Eight of Wands, the messengers, the messaging. I always, for some reason, when I see the Eight of Wands, I get excited because it's a bunch of arrows at one time, so it's almost like really somebody's trying to get your attention. So I feel like that message kind of is portrayed in my decks. Nine of Wands. So the Nine of Wands is the wounded warrior, the one that's bandaged or damaged or whatever. So I feel like that was kind of hard in this flesh tarot, but I feel like this card kind of represents it because she's sort of the mermaid, or she's the one that's going to save him, or he's been through some kind of struggle and he's going to get out, or they're going to make it together kind of thing. So yeah, something like that. All right. Then we get the Ten of Wands. This is like heavy burden, and it's kind of dramatic, like something like, I guess you could decide whether it's going to be a heavy burden or not. Like, it's your choice. You could be a drama king or not. But look at the flesh, the composition of the body figure is just very striking. So so instead of pages, I have princesses, and they're all pretty girls, pretty nude women. And knights are nude men. And I try to get, some symbology there. So here's sort of a wand he's holding. That was not easy to find, but I did my best. All the queens are kind of like more full-figured or looking in the mirror, or kind of something like that. They have sort of a regalness, but yet they are nude. And the kings, a couple of the kings have partners in their picture, so this kind of represents that they're kind of like the dominant, they're the ones in charge kind of thing. All right, so let's go on to cups. So just like the other ace, we have the nude female, and this is an image that I wanted so bad in my other deck, and I just thought she was so pretty, so I was able. She was kind of what motivated me to do this deck. Then we have Two of Cups. I thought that was really lucky find there with the cute couple. And without being, you know, naughty or anything, just sweet and innocent. 3 of Cups. 4 of Cups. So I think this kind of depicts like a boredom kind of thing. I don't know what he's doing. He's kind of depressed, it looks like, or just kind of contemplating. It's interesting. The image I used for my Enchanted Romance has the female as the focus and the male trying to get her attention, and she won't have nothing to do with him. And so this is kind of a reversal, you know. She's just like, hey, naked woman here. And he's busy with his, she could be a ghost or an angel, I don't know, but he's busy with his skull and his book. There's 5 of Cups. So, you know, the moving away, the walking away from stuff, showing your back, I think kind of fits. 6 of Cups, the nostalgia. Let's just hang out together and let me play with your toes. The 7 of Cups. So this is kind of more attack mode. It's like choices, not choices really. This just shows you like so much going on at once, like what to do, you know. Oh, it's the 8 of Cups, that's walking away mode. All right, so with the 5 of Cups is, the 5 of Cups is just kind of like sorrow, you know, like leaving things, like not seeing things, the cup half full but half empty, so to speak. So something like that. And then the 8 of Cups is the walking away one. Okay. 9 of Cups, which is a happier one, like feeling good. And 10 of Cups, isn't that so sweet? The fleshy family. Princess of Cups, who's on the cover. The Cups is my favorite suit. The Knight of Cups. I mean, there's so many water images in the nudes, so it was not a hard thing to find watery nude people for the cup. Queen of Cups. And then we've got Triton. Not Triton. Yeah, maybe. Anyway, Poseidon. God of the Sea. King of Cups. Alright, now we're going to move on to Swords. And Ace of Swords, so as in the other suits, we have the nude woman, the lone nude woman. The 2 of Swords is kind of a decision, you know, thinking about things. So it's a little bit more somber, just a bit, you know. 3 of Swords, it's a pain in the heart kind of thing. And that's, you know, it doesn't have to be death, you know. This is kind of, to me, this is the symbol right here. And in my Enchanted Romance, it's the woman touching her heart too. But she's seeing a man maybe that she likes, you know, kissing another girl. This one is, you know, a loss of someone. So pain in the heart can be a variety of things. It doesn't have to be this extreme, but, you know, I thought this was a good symbol of that. 4 of Swords. So she's resting. I like this one too because he's a little fairy guy, you know. And then I learned fairy boys or men have a certain name for them. So now I have some more information for my fairy forecast card that I'm working on. I keep saying I'm working on, but I'm working on them. Then the 5 of Swords. This is like the cheater card, you know. He doesn't want to hear it, but they're kind of accusing him. Oh no, the 5 of Swords, cheater. It's like, or hollow victory or something like that, but yeah. And 6 of Swords is movement, moving on, rites of passage. I always like to use like a boat image if I can for that. And when these were together, This was kind of cute. It's almost like he escaped, and this nice lady said, "Hey, I got a boat. I can get you out of here," kind of thing. So here we have Seven of Swords, and this one is called Mercury, something about Mercury stealing the cattle. So this is trying to make off with the cattle. This cute little kid here, this cute little Mercury symbol, and he was caught but it's kind of lighthearted. It's not so serious. In a lot of Seven of Swords, it seems so serious, but I tried to lighten that Seven of Swords vibe up a little bit. Here's Eight of Swords. Now, Eight of Swords does seem scary to me. It's like feeling stuck. Like, I know that feeling, like, can't move, like, what to do next. So that's kind of like that. Nine of Swords is even worse. You should see, like, some of the close-ups of this. Just flesh, torn flesh. It's just pretty intense, But that's, to me, it just represents, the wounds, being hurt or whatever. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel kind of thing. But I just want to represent that part because it's such a beautiful representation in the artwork, this flesh. That's why I call it Flesh Tarot. And then there's the Ten of Swords. So the Ten of Swords is like down, but maybe not out, Yeah. There's the Princess. Now you might recognize her from my Fairy Forecast deck. The Knight of Swords. Found an actual knight holding a sword with a nude. I was like, okay, that'll work. Queen of Swords, also looking in the mirror, more modest. And the King of Swords. This king, to me, is just really handsome and beautifully designed, drawn, and everything. And he had a partner, and then he was like, and the bigger image is like they're looking at some kind of crazy woman over here. But I just wanted to focus on this partnership because it looks solid, And then I went ahead and added the sword just to balance with the other kings. Okay. Yeah, he didn't have a cup, but it's kind of obvious he's the water king. All right, I'm going to do the final one now, Ace of Discs. So the final suit is Pentacles, but I decided to call it Discs instead. For no other reason, just for saving some space, I guess, and the wording, just easy. So, again, lone woman, and the point was, Pentacles represents earth, and so I just wanted to have more of an earthy feeling as opposed to like the watery feeling of the cups. Okay, here we go. And then we have the Two of Discs. Not as easy to say. So yeah, this is a big fun celebration, and this guy like clapping cymbals, and I thought that's perfect because it's like the juggler, juggling the discs, or pentacles. So, but in most decks, they show the juggler as happy, happy with your job, happy with multitasking or whatever you're doing. Three of Discs. This one is a little bit not exactly matching the meaning, but I really love this artwork, and here's another representation of skin tones, so it didn't want to be all like fair people. This were, a little bit deeper skin tone, and also Pentacles supposed to represent deeper skin tones as well. But the Three of Discs, yeah, that's kind of like the collaboration card. Four of Discs, which is the miser. Can't really tell he's hoarding anything, but he does kind of look like he's keeping to himself. Five of Discs, being left out in the cold kind of thing. So yeah, they're kind of like in a dungeon or something, some prison. She's bound there. And that's also like, this is also a feeling or an attitude more than an actuality kind of thing sometimes. You know, you could, I mean, it doesn't, in this picture, obviously maybe they couldn't escape, but there's kind of a light here saying, maybe this is self-imposed kind of thing. All right, and then 6 of discs is, you know, the give and take, the helping. To me, I see the 6 of pentacles or discs like the helping hand, the one who feeds, the one who gives, but also gets in return. But you don't always see the return in the artwork. But, you know, you can kind of feel the return because, you know, he feels like good about himself kind of thing by helping this man. Then 7 of discs is watching things grow. And I was really having trouble finding something along those lines. But when I saw this baby, I was like, oh my gosh, that baby is so beautiful. I have to figure out a way to incorporate it. And so, yeah, I love this being here because this can help people also, you know if they're going to have children or whatever. This kind of gives you kind of hope if this card comes up in the 7 of discs position. The 8 of discs is working and just being kind of focused on your work. He might have a cup, you know, or pot, but this guy's got a disc and that guy's got kind of a disc thing going there. The 9 of discs, 9 of pentacles or discs to me just seems like, you know, like really happy with their surroundings. So she doesn't look quite attacked like the other woman. She seems loved, you know, very much loved and feeling really good. 10 of discs. I was trying to find a family that I really liked to represent that. And there was different ones, and there was not very many. Only the one with the cups had nudity, but there weren't very many others that had nudity. But I thought this was a good fleshy kind of composition. The baby's fleshy, the man's muscle tone, and I think he's handsome. I just kind of was attracted to his looks. Then the princess. So again, each suit has a princess who is, instead of page, a princess, and a nude woman, and like Adolf Bogaro has so many beautiful nudes. I just like, okay, yes, I have to have this one too. There's the Knight of Discs, so I thought that worked out pretty good. The Queen of Discs looking in the mirror, and the King of Discs, mostly because just beautifully drawn, beautiful muscle tone and shape and everything. And yeah, a little bit darker hair and darker background to kind of, to me, it means more solid, more pentacle-esque. I like the dark-haired people and dark-skinned people for the pentacles. All right, so there you go, guys. I'm so excited. I think it turned out really nice. I might do a Superior Smooth version, maybe. I don't know. But this one is not going to be too expensive, this version, and we'll see. Or maybe I'll do a Superior Smooth without the silver. You guys let me know what you think. But I really do like doing the silver edging. All right, so this is going to be my Etsy shop, and all the information's down in the description box. I hope you like that. Jay chose the pixie dust.